Hey, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Stroke of Genius, where we have to all realize that people with disabilities are people too, and to understand the impact that they can have on our lives if we just allow them to. And that'll make all the difference in the world. And again, also, from a caregiver's perspective, we talk a lot about how important it is for caregivers to understand how there are things that the person with the disability may want you to know, but you need to understand that it's hard sometimes to be able to get that out. And as a caregiver, you want to make sure you're doing the best you can for your person with the disabilities. But doing that and allowing that person with the disabilities to be able to flourish and to have a life, it's amazing. And I'm just so glad to be joined today by one great caregiver and one great person that I have been fortunate enough to have met here recently, Tom Shovelton. Hey, good morning, Tom.
Hey, Brian, great to be here.
How are you?
Doing well, surviving the cold here, but I looked out this morning and saw the snow and say, man, it's looking a lot like Christmas. So I'm excited for the holiday.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful holiday and we love it here. So, and the snow is one of those things where you deal with it, but for me, I work most days from my basement, so I don't go out into the snow too often. I'm sure for you have to get out some, but overall, it's been great to have. It just makes the world look so much cleaner than what it is some days.
Sure.
So anyway, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your story. So if you would take as much time as you want, I'm gonna give the floor to you. All right.
Thanks, Brian. Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, if people meet me, one of the first things I'm going to tell them about is I'm a dad, and I'm very proud of that and very excited about being a parent and a father. But that in my life that has somewhat special meaning. I have two children, a son and a daughter. Very blessed to have two. But my daughter is on the autism spectrum, and so that has in many ways defined a lot of my role as dad, as parent, and also as in her case as I'm her guardian. And so that kids in general will change your life, but in my case, having a child with special needs has been a very it's challenging, but I'd also say very rewarding experience. So she's 29, name's Colleen, and she's just very special to me. And it actually, after spending time in our home, growing up in our home, she moved out on her own. She has someone with her to help her. She has caregivers that help her 24/7. But also from my perspective, one of the things I wanted to do as her dad, if you will, was to help keep up with her. So I actually formed a small company several years ago called Connect a Voice, which helps the agencies that help people with developmental disabilities document their required paperwork, if you will, for the various government agencies who manage and give them their compliance. That system has obviously put me in the forefront of many of developmental disability agencies, but also allowed me to spread the message that care is very important. And while I tell people Connect Voice is a technology company, really at the end of the day, what we work very hard is, and very excited about working hard at, is improving the care to people with developmental disabilities. And so kind of like you said, there's people, all of us have different abilities, and I always laugh at myself. So when I look at somebody with a developmental disability, I also see very aspects of myself of thinking the things I can't do. So I'd say this: Colleen has taught me many things about myself, and people that know her certainly enjoy her, and she's just been a joy.
Yeah, so when you talk about what Colleen has taught you about yourself, it makes me think about how, working in the school for the blind, I've learned so much about myself that, I didn't realize. I had no clue. What, from your perspective, what has Colleen taught you recently, or maybe not so recently? It's just to help you to be able to understand what she's going through.
Yeah, yeah, and it's funny because again, so much of it people look at what she can't do, but you talk about what she can do. She is on. So when you look at the autism spectrum, very wide spectrum. I'm very clear. She's on the severe end of it. So limited vocabulary. Again, has lots of needs in her life. That being said, she's very simple. And very loving, and you look at those two dynamics, and you think about the complexities we have in quote unquote a normal life, but somebody gets up in the morning just looking to enjoy and be part of a group or be out in the community, and enjoy the very basic pleasures of life. When things come at me and I'm all stressed and worrying about the next thing that possibly could go wrong, I just think about her very simple world, and how much she enjoys it. That's how I should be. Is just enjoy those things that come to you, and be able to laugh and have fun.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit, and the listeners as well. Tell us a little bit about what you think she enjoys or she goes through on a daily basis. I mean, walk us a little bit through her shoes, if you can.
Oh, whew, that.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can
Tom,
you hear me?
did I lose you?
Oh,
I don't know. Tom, are you there?
I'm here. Can
Okay.
you hear me? Am I
Yeah.
back? Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right. Woo. Like I said, I get excited that things just run away from me. Um, she's very much, and a big part of my role as a caregiver is making sure she's out in the community. So she loves to be out, outside, being in parks. One of the things we'll do tomorrow is she goes to a therapeutic horseback riding program up in Centerburg, a place called the Shane Center. Does fantastic work. And it's the Shane Center will say, it's just not a horse ride. There are challenges there as far as working with the horses, being on the horse, that are very powerful for somebody with a developmental disability. But her day, she's up, she's out. She does a day program where they do lots of cool events. And I'm very clear with her care workers. It's not all about having Colleen have a fun day, if you will. She has responsibilities to clean her home, help with meals and whatnot, and basically take care of herself. So that's a big part of in her caregiving framework, making sure. Colleen's also wonderful in that. Unlike some of us, she's figured out that this work thing's hard, and she'll shy away from it. So you have to kind of remind her that, hey, life's not about, having everything served on a silver platter. And so anyway.
So those direct support professionals that they help her, I mean, does she have help getting ready in the morning and all that, or can she do that on her own?
A great question. She does have somebody with her all the time, helping her with whether it be dressing, basic hygiene, really whatever she needs. And so that goes back to individuals will gravitate wherever they go. So she'd be glad for somebody to bring her all her meals, do everything for her, and she'd almost giggle with that. Like, look at me. So again, part of my role
I
is,
got him.
yeah, exactly. Oh, and I can, of course, I'm dad. I'm wrapped around the finger. But some of the things I work with her team are just reminding them of that. Is that, yeah, that don't we all wish we had that? So coming back to the care worker, which is really important. They have a role of empowering, and that really means, not just doing, but supporting and challenging and making her, quite frankly, who likes to do their laundry, but Colleen has to do her own laundry, does she need a lot of help? Yes. But she's got to, okay, you got to pick that basket up. We got to take it downstairs and put it in the washer. And then we got to go put it to the dryer, those are things. And again, my point is the dynamic between the caregiver and the individual is really key. It's not about making her work. It's about making her live her life.
Yeah. And to teach her how to be independent. You can't just tell someone be independent. You can't tell someone how to be independent. You've got to let them be independent and help them along the way.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's like I said, there's, who likes to, clean their house or do basic things, make your bed, but that's part of, taking care of yourself and having a, suitable living environment. So.
Yeah. Well, for sure. So we talked a little bit about her morning and then also, her work day. So her work day, so she still has the direct support professional with her, but also then, what does she do for fun?
Like I said, so besides horseback riding, which is pretty much a weekly event, okay. She can take you on a tour of the zoo, and knows all the animals and drills that. Again, it's simple things. Going to parks, being out, seeing the animals. She's really big with animals. I'm going to keep coming back to that. Her favorite thing is sharks. She can tell you all about, classic autism type, behavior or knowledge bases. There's over 440 sharks in the ocean. And she pretty much knows every one of them. She can tell the difference in a bull and a tiger and a great white shark. And, fantastic skill. I'm not quite sure what we do with that, but loves wildlife, particularly marine life, and being out in the community and doing those sort of things. So also, you talk about she like the rest of us this time of year. She's a huge football fan, loves the Buckeyes. And so, so she'll, which is nice for me. So, if I want to go over and watch a game with somebody, I've got somebody who'll sit there and, and I think it's, there's something, she loves the numbers that are in the game, the excitement that she gets from watching the game. And, that may be, as they let fans come back to games in the future, that may be a future outing for us.
Does she understand the game?
Somewhat. I mean, she knows, that they're running and playing. But again, I think it's just, you talk about the simple things that we overlook. We sometimes look at, did we win or lose? And if you lose, oh, that's horrible. I think Colleen looks at it and look at them. They're having fun. They're excited. Just that thrill, the thrill of enjoyment of the event is what really she thrives on.
I just see so much, her seeing so much of the simplicity in the game, and so much just the simplicity of it being a game. She doesn't get bound up in the college football playoff, probably.
Right. No. Yeah. It's, the colors of the uniform, the stickers on the helmet, those sort of things are just that, again, as you think about, okay, what really matters, and particularly in sports, I think it is, we get so crazy who wins or loss or who's number one. We forget it's really, and I think we learned when we weren't able to watch sports for a while, we just want to watch sports. I think that's the kind of joy she has with a lot of things. She just wants to experience those things and feel and enjoy.
Yeah, I found myself in the same kind of position. I mean, when we didn't have the Buckeyes to watch, I still at least wanted to watch football. I mean, I never, I shouldn't say never, but I very rarely would watch just a football game before, COVID. But now with COVID, I just appreciate being able to watch the game and to see the activities and see it all going on. I think it's brought me down. It's helped me to appreciate the simple things like she appreciates.
Exactly. Yeah. She, doesn't read into, things. It's more that, what's the joy and the fun of that. And then as she experiences something new, just the feeling that she was able to do that. So.
Does she enjoy a nice meal?
Absolutely. But of course, like many individuals, I can tell you pizza is her favorite meal.
What's wrong
But
with
yeah,
that?
yeah, exactly. But, there's, you put nice food in front of her, she will enjoy that. So.
What's her favorite kind of pizza?
That's a great question. I think pizza is pizza, so
She's just happy to have pizza.
just happy to have pizza. Exactly.
Well, that's great. And she just doesn't care. That's even better. Interesting. So, what would you say that we can learn from her? I mean, I don't want to make this too hard of a question. I don't want to ask the same question over again. But what do you think that we can learn from her that you've already learned? I mean, you experienced so much with her that we've never experienced. I mean, I don't have anybody in my family with autism. I have some students that I'm able to work with at the School for the Blind who are on the autism spectrum. They're not like Colleen, but I'm wondering what you think we can learn that you've already have.
Yeah, and like I said, Colleen, has taught me a lot. The people that have been her caregivers or worked with her, whether big when she was in school, I mean, it's always refreshing when I'm in the community, and particularly if I'm with her, people would know her before they know me. She cuts a wide path of people that know her and they're, oh, so you're dad. Oh, okay. I always like it when I'm introduced second.
That's great.
So let me broaden my answer a little bit. So my point being is she brings that joy not only to me but other people. When I look at individuals with developmental disability or disabilities in general, again, what I've kind of learned from that is again we kind of bucket things. Oh, they can't do this, can't do that kind of thing. For me, one of the things Colleen did is she kind of shattered that. You start to look at what you can do. And so, and again, I interact and am involved with a lot of things with individuals. I run a business that focuses on people with developmental disabilities. And so you see the great things people are doing. You see people going to work. You see people, doing what they can do. And that's again, Colleen has taught me that, but I start to see that, through the community. And I guess my point is that, so Colleen's 29. So in 29 years, you've seen lots of progress with the community. I'm really excited about the future because I think more and more people get that there's a community here that we need to nurture further. We need to challenge further. And just great things are happening there. And so it's, not to go down a bad or a negative path, but there was a day not too long ago, it's a couple of decades, but you would like, okay, this person has a disability. We're going to put them over here out of the way and they just not help them. And not build, you think about it, even the wheelchair ramp, you look at those are standard now. Used to be, that wasn't standard. And you look at how that limited somebody. Like I said, we've come a long way, and and I look at the individuals with disabilities, you know, in some cases they're on the forefront of making those changes. They've presented cases, they've stood up and made, you know, good arguments of like, hey, here's what this means to us.
Do you think in the future that it would be possible to have Colleen come on the show with us?
That I don't know about. She she would enjoy the you know, seeing the video and whatnot, but not sure, you know, not sure how interested she'd be in participating. So,
Okay. Okay. Well, that's all right. So,
something to think about.
What's that?
Something to think about.
Yeah. So we got the 9 or 10 minutes left. I really want to talk more about your company and the impact you're having on all the community there. But before we do that, I want to encourage our listeners, the listeners that are online right now, to put in hashtag live, listening live, and to share this video out with as many people as you can to make this community as large as possible. So I would appreciate that, and we all would appreciate that. Also, put in your comments, put in the stream that you're in, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn, put in a Winking with Wagner photo and indicate that it's hashtag Brian with one eye, hashtag of winking with or without Wagner. And then also, if you would, do me a favor and tag me on that photo. That would be great. I'll enter you in the raffle to have a free copy of my book, a signed copy, and I'll send it to you. So if you would do that, and if you're listening on replay, put in hashtag replay. But most importantly, share this video out with as many people as you can. So having said all that, Tom, tell me a little bit about your company.
So like I said, Connect the Voice in a nutshell is an information service that helps providers of services to people with developmental disabilities. So we provide a very simple mobile app that can be downloaded on caregivers' smartphone. We collect that information in a secure database in the cloud, and that allows you know, our customers to not only be compliant with whether it be county or Department of Developmental Disabilities in the state of Ohio, but also does a number of administrative things there. You know, one of the things that's obviously very unique and just differentiates us from you know, others in this who provide similar types of solutions. It's the fact that I'm a parent and have that direct experience. So as I've indicated, a lot of what we do is very focused on, you know, making the job of the care worker as simple as possible so that they maximize the time with the individual. A lot of other systems, they focus more on what I call back office things, you know, billing functions, whatnot. Very important. We do some of that. But really, you know, what we wanted to do was maximize interaction with the care worker, and that's resonated with our customers. You know, it's just a different way of looking at the problem. You know, they recognize that some of their largest challenges with their workforce, their workers, and so, you know, making that very simple and improve their quality, and so that's what customers see with us. It is that different view, and then, you know, we try to be innovative in, you know, how we provide our technology to staff. So whether it be, you know, that we're a mobile app that allows, you know, the consumer to be mobile, because again, you've heard me say that is that we wanted people out in the community, but also some of the tools we leverage, GPS locations and whatnot in the device, just makes for a better experience. And so, you know, and I guess the final thing I'll say is, you know, I use my experience. I always like to say when I'm giving a demo is you kind of see, you know, my fingerprints, a parental fingerprints over how the system was built. So often solutions are built based on what, you know, the county board of developmental disabilities, you know, has specified, versus what I call the care look at it. So like, here's how the care is being distributed versus here's the paperwork you must complete. And so that was very different, or is very different in how we approach it. It's a very simple system, and because of that, we found it's easy to implement and easy to use. I can talk about this all day. We probably need to ask me something else.
Well, no, I mean, we've got 5 minutes left, so I'm really enthused and I really want to hear more about what you do as a company. So the DSPs, I'm sorry, the direct support professionals that are out there working with the people with disabilities every day. I mean, there are multiple. There's really multiple variations, many variations of the disabilities and where they're at on the spectrum. So they're not all people with autism, correct?
Right. No, it could be, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different, diagnoses or conditions, however you want it. But,
So you have to know I'm assuming your app is more than just a place for them to write things down. It's more than just notes, right?
Right, that's a lot of it, but yeah, it's we also handle medication administration. There's paperwork involved if there's a need for an incident report. We do that. Like I said, I don't like to talk about the back office functions because I really like to talk about the care functions. But we also track time for individuals, and that's, again, a lot of these functions have typically been done with paper form. So, my background was as an IT professional. So I looked at that when Colleen was first transitioning into a environment outside of our home, and just paper and pencil, what's that? And so that led to the creation of Connect Voices. Like, again, we wanted to do things that could then, you could not only collect the information, but you could start to analyze it to, again, improve the experience for the individual.
You see that is back to that congruency that I've talked about in the past. Where you have your core beliefs, your core strengths, and they're matched up with your vision. So your vision is to be able to help your daughter, and to be able to help your daughter, with that, you're going to help the direct support professional, but you're also going to help many other people as well, because your core strength, your core beliefs are aligned with your vision. So I just think that is very important for us all to understand. In everything we do, we don't need to go out and recreate our world or whatever. If we can just understand that taking what we currently have and matching it up with where we want to go, it makes all the difference in the world. So, do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly, and like I said, a lot of, whether it be a show like this or just certainly when I've been a prospect, they kind of see where that passion's coming from. And I'm very sincere. I say this all the time. So I'm really about helping these people who need a little bit of help, getting that and learning about that. And, like I said, we've had great success with Connect a Voice. But the greater success is improving the care to those individuals. That's what I'm, if I had to say what I'm really proud of is that I founded a company or that I helped somebody. I'd much rather help somebody. And again, been blessed that, our customers today, really, I always say, they say thank you. So it's energizing to me to get up in the morning knowing I got people that are depending on us and excited to be working with us. So that's exciting.
So not only are you helping the direct support professional and the company they work for, you're also helping the person with the disabilities and their caregivers or their parents or whomever, their guardians. So you're having a big impact on a lot of different people.
We hope so. That is, quite frankly, what we're in business to do, and help them, have a better life.
One last question then: who do you view as your customer?
That's a loaded one, because I have those agencies that I'm very excited about and very responsible to, but really it's those individuals out there, and feel like. With disabilities, yeah. So if you're getting quality care, and again, it's a value chain and a multiple links there to make it work. But again, if they're improving and they're getting what they need, then I think we've been successful.
Wow, that's awesome. I am so appreciative of you spending the time with us this morning. This has been great. I hope you'll come back on, because there are
I'd love to. It's been a pleasure.
Good. So there are many other questions I would love to ask, and I'm sure our viewers would love to ask as well. So if you have questions, by all means, put them in the chat, in the comment section, and we'll answer them as we go on. If they come up after, and if it's on a replay that you happen to be wondering these questions, send them to me, and I'll make sure that I get with Tom, and we'll either come back on and do another show and answer those questions, or possibly we'll just reply to you directly and make it quick and easy. So if there's anything else that, Tom, that you want us to leave our audience with, what would it be?
Well, I was going to say, I'm watching the connectavoice.com, scroll across the screen there. That's how you can learn more about Connect-A-Voice. But I'll just say, Brian, I really appreciate the time today and the ability to tell a little bit about my story, and appreciate you putting me in touch with this audience.
Absolutely. We will do it again. Well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Very good. Have a great day.
All right. Well, I want to send you back to the green room, and while we're doing that, I'm also going to talk to our audience about how it is that we can begin to embrace our own personal blindness to achieve a greater vision for our lives. So understanding how we can do that, it's vitally important. And I'm just so appreciative of you all being here today. I mean, oh my gosh, didn't Tom Shovelton bring it? I was so enthused, so happy that he answered so many questions. But I'm willing to bet you that there are more questions that you have. So ask those questions, and we'll get the answers as soon as we can. Now, as always, there's so much that we can add and do for each other. But this is Christmas time, and I want to make sure that we all understand how important it is to know the value that we're bringing to the table, and to know the core values that we have, the core beliefs, the core strengths that we have, how important it is to understand the impact that we're having on other people. So I appreciate all that you've done, and I appreciate all that you do. So as always, continue to march along that road of knowing your vision, knowing how important your core beliefs and strengths are aligned with your vision, and do everything you can for those with disabilities and their caregivers. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. But remember, as always, keep one eye on the road.